Gold jacket, green jacket, who gives you?
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Gold Jacket, Green Jacket podcast. We're here for episode number 68. My name is Christian Dragonetti, and I'm joined, as always, by the one and only Mr. Joel Mitchell, who's just bashed his hand on the table. He's a friggin' idiot. What's going on, Jolie?
Fucking hurt. I think I just hit a nerve. Oh, don't know.
He's bashed his hand on the table. I'm like, right, let's go. Start.
Apart from that, I think I'm pretty good. Apart from being dizzy, but otherwise, yeah, happy days. We're good. We're good. So
Very good. Very good.
Been a good, eventful, progressive day.
Yes.
I'd say. And
You've just spent the last 15 minutes telling me about your round this morning at Rosanna with SGM.
yeah, good progression.
And he seems to be moving in the in a nice sort of direction. Let's just say that.
Everyone's learning.
Everyone's learning. It's a good spot to be.
Baby steps.
Absolutely.
Baby steps.
Jolly, let's obviously on that note, let's get into recent rounds. How'd you go today?
Yeah, we'll go straight into it. My most recent round was today.
Mm-hmm.
It was blowing its absolute head off.
The wind's been bad all weekend.
Dude, I haven't seen it that blowy at Rosanna in a long time. Like, we get wind, but like it was howling.
It was choppy.
Like howling. Like, what was it? 11 is probably 370 from the back, maybe from the back pegs. Like, we played off the black today. Maybe just on 370, and I hit driver 5-iron.
Cool.
And hit them both unreal.
Cool.
Like, no shit, I had 151. The hole's 370. I've hit driver like good. It's gone 225. And hit
suck.
from 150, like pumped this low little cut with 5-iron. It's hit, like landed pin high, almost boxed apart. But I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I had 65 into it, like often.
Yeah, right.
Anyway, it was good. It was good actually. I rallied late. I ended up having 3 under, which I'm very pleased with. I had 3 under yesterday as well.
Nice.
So yeah, a few rounds in a row where
It's consistent.
yeah, it's consistently, sitting around that number, and swing feels pretty solid, and just got a bit of training to do, try and find a bit of distance, and that's for the next month, I guess.
Yeah, you were telling me the next month in your calendar sort of freed up a little bit.
Yeah.
I was under the impression that you were heading up to Queensland next week.
Not yet.
Not yet.
That was the plan, but it sort of fell through. I didn't quite get into the event that I was looking for.
Okay.
So instead of playing 3 events, I'm not playing any because
okay.
I was literally, unless I would have won both of the events that I would have gone up to play, I would have lost money.
Okay. No,
So it
fair
was
enough.
just, there was one event that I would have gone up for, definitely.
Yeah.
To play those 3 events. But
Not for the want
unfortunately,
to trying, but it's just not financially stable.
it wouldn't have been smart to do.
Yeah, fair
And
enough.
I would have had to win. Yeah, anyway. And if I don't play quite how I would have liked, well, it's like a complete,
It's a misery compiler.
it's a huge loss.
Absolute
sort of
misery
thing.
compiler.
And especially in the area it was North Queensland in Mackay, and it's expensive enough to get there, let
Yes, it
alone
is.
stay there for 8 days.
Yes, it is.
And drive around, find places. Oh.
Yeah, no thanks.
So I would have loved to, but it wasn't justified since I didn't get into the big event
Next year.
Yeah. So yeah, hopefully
Next year.
So yeah, start of July. That's when things get going. So,
So yeah, you've got the next sort of 4 weeks just to sort of kick back, cruise, play heaps of golf. and-
play heaps, grind heaps, not change a few things, but update a few things, and back to the drawing board, and get
Sort
a
of-
routine going. Basically,
This is your off season before the unofficial season starts, in a sense.
Kinda. Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
So I've got the next 4 weeks to sort of breathe a little bit and get the affairs in order, and
Yep.
then go hard at it. So otherwise, today was actually very, very good considering the elements.
Ah, good.
So I didn't make a bogey till 15, but I only had 1 birdie.
Yeah, okay.
So birdied 5, and that was it
Yeah, right.
until 15, and then birdied the last 3 in a row to sort of hold the round together, sort of things.
Yeah, cool.
I'll take it. Played with SGM. He didn't have the greatest of days, but we did a little bit of work afterwards, and he did some practice, and we tidied a few things up. So
Yes.
let's see how that goes for him.
Absolutely.
And you?
I played on Saturday, standard round for me at Heidelberg. Played off 4.
That's the first
On a
Sort of.
Saturday off the blacks
on
it
a
is.
Saturday.
The GA is down to four flat now, so it's 4 regardless.
Heidelberg's a little easier, so you don't get a shot from the back.
No, correct. It's
Sorry, I could have been a dick. I'm sorry.
I know you are. It's different walking. Like I've been there for nearly 7 years now at Heidelberg, and it's weird not getting the first hole like with a shot.
Oh, really?
Yeah. The first hole is rated 5.
Yeah, okay.
So not having that, and like we teed off on 4 on the weekend, but even still, that familiar feeling of walking from the car park side almost to 1.
Knowing one's a par 5, sort of.
Yeah, to an extent. And I call it a gentle handshake of a hole. Like it's just nice. Welcome. Come to Heidelberg.
Yeah.
It's a straightaway par 4. The green's as wide as anything, and it's just hit it on the fairway and hit it on the green. 2-putt, make 4, and you get 3 points. Awesome. Move on. Not anymore. No. And I'm just like,
oh, you've kind of got lock in.
Yeah, correct. And
so what do you have?
I had 32 points. So after the round with Toby that we discussed last week, it opened up.
Oh yeah, how did that go? That swing feeling.
It went well. It went okay. But that round in particular opened up a period now that I've got 7 free slaps.
Oh wow!
Without a flag. Yeah. So I made double bogey on the first hole, the 4th, the par 5, and that was literally because I was trying to implement that swing feeling, having not swung driver in a practice or in a warm up, and just rope hooked one left. And I was like, okay, whatever. Found the pill, struggled to get out took 2 to get out of the shit, and it was a misery compiler, right? And I was like, okay, whatever. And then the next hole on 5 just blocked one out onto 7, and I was like, okay,
compensation,
somewhere in the middle of those two, like let's go for this. And then from there, it was kind of okay.
Cruisy,
it was kind of okay.
Cruisy.
Was able to shape the ball both ways. Sort of had an idea of what I wanted to see or feel like when I was trying to hit fades. And then when I wanted to hit a straighter ball, possibly a draw, had a feeling for that as well. Hit this. I made birdie on 8, which was probably the best hole I played all day. Tried to hit that low peeler that you hit as well, and I've tried to incorporate as well. Just stayed dead straight and went to the left like mounds between 8 and 7.
Yeah.
Short of stayed on 8 side, but it was in the rough. Had like 155 in, and it was starting to pick up a little bit.
Yeah.
Pulled 6 iron and just hit this absolute monster of a 6 iron. Pitched and got stuck to, what was it? 9-10 foot.
Yeah, man.
Right up the hill. 8's the hardest hole on the course by a long shot, especially when the wind's blowing. Yeah. Just hit this. And with that feeling as well, and it just had that hint of a draw.
With 8, even if you do hit the fairway, you've still got to hit the green to worry about.
Yeah, correct.
Like there's no real place, unless you miss it sort of like back right. And there's no place you can miss it to be in a decent spot.
Luckily for me, the pin was on the right-hand side of the green. But that being said, if you had a look from behind my ball where the second shot was, trees are overhanging. I've got to hit it. I've got to start it lowish and not get too high.
Yeah. It can't jump on you.
It can't jump on me. Out of the rough, preferred lies, it's likely to jump. But it didn't. I got away with it and just drained the putt for birdie. And I was like, oh, there's something. But I was always chasing because of the poor start.
Yeah.
I was always chasing a score. And then I got to, obviously teeing off on 4, we got to 1. And I think I needed to play the first, second, and third holes even par, or maybe even 1 under to get to 36. And I just went bogey, par. Yeah. And I was just chasing.
It's not even like a... No, you're not even chasing. It's more just like
that's what it felt like. That's what the mindset was. It was like, let's go get something.
Yeah, you're behind the 8 ball early.
Let's go get something now. Yeah. So honestly, it didn't play the worst round of golf ever, but as soon as I made double on 4 the first hole, I was like, there's no flag today.
It's also very different that you've lost 2 shots, well, a shot and a half at least, or 2 shots. So the 32 sounds ordinary, but it's off a much lower figure than you used to.
100%.
Especially off the tips.
100%.
It
went through score differential, I think it was 7.1 or something.
That's fine.
Which is fine, but a 32-pointer 8 weeks ago would have gone through it as a 10 and a half.
As 10, yeah.
So even though, 32 points doesn't sound that crash hot, I'm like, well, it's a 36-pointer 6 weeks ago. Really?
Yeah, kind of. Close.
It's a 35 pointer.
Yeah. It's a solid round with 1 dodgy hole.
Yeah.
And now it's like,
Yeah.
that dodgy hole cost me.
Yeah.
See how important it is now?
Absolutely.
The lower you get, you're like, fuck, those holes hurt.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, but no, I hit the ball really well. My short game was pretty good. Putted okay. Greens are coming back. They're looking better and better.
Good. They were good the other week.
They were good. They're still probably about a week away from being schmicko.
From being back, yeah.
Yeah, being unreal.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just keen for the next 6 rounds that I don't have to worry about playing good golf. I can just go out and play, and if it comes good, it comes good.
That's it.
But that swing thought that I've got from Toby, as we discussed last week, is comfy, and I was able to sort of manage the time between trying to implement it and backing off a little bit and vice versa. Just to try and find the comfy spot. There was a couple of swings that I took during the round where I was like, oh, you've gone too hard there and you've bottomed out too early. You've fatted it a little bit. Maybe just dial it back a little bit because the term feel like it's a draw throws me off completely because then I hear the word draw and I expect to say whoosh,
see that's another golf IQ thing is understanding your patterns.
And it was 2 or 3 holes into the round where I was just like, just because it's a draw feeling doesn't mean it has to produce a draw.
Correct.
It's to straighten the ball flight. It's to eliminate that high, loopy bullshit peel over cut that I've got. And once I got that out of my mind, it was...
Yeah, it goes straight.
It was
Your
flush.
draw feeling is straight, whereas my cut feeling is straight.
Yeah, correct.
Oh, not cut, but I have to feel... Yeah, I have to feel slightly left. Just slightly to get it straight.
So no, but... I hit the... I told you about this on the weekend. Playing, I think I might have played for 14, par 5.
Yeah.
I don't know how, but I hit this little Healy horrible drive, and it was middle fairway. Like there's nothing wrong with it, but it was just at the top of the hill. Like it didn't go very far at all.
So you got like 300.
Yeah, the first number was definitely a 3, right? And I've gone,
That's a long way.
And my first instinct from anywhere that it's a little bit uneven at the top of that hill as well, the lies and stuff. And my first instinct is just to grab 2-iron.
Yeah.
And I did.
Yeah.
And then I'm looking at it, I'm like, shit, a fucking long way.
That hole's still small.
Right? I'm like, if I don't hit this great, I'm still got 6-iron in.
Yeah.
And I'm probably in the Goombi, right or left, right? So I'm like, well, what have you got to lose?
Just hit driver.
I felt like it. But I'm like, and I've been meaning to do it a lot more is pull 3-wood off the deck when I've got space.
You don't do that a lot.
I don't.
Yeah.
3-wood's a tee club for me.
Yeah, it is. It is actually.
I much prefer it off the tee than I do off the deck.
It's true.
Anyway, and Mitch loves it when I pull 3-wood because he reckons I've got it, and I've got it.
Hit 3-wood good.
But he wants to see me do it more often. So whenever I've got a chance, he's like, "Do it, fucking do it." Anyway, pulled 3-wood. I'm like, "Fuck it, let's go." Shape up, fucking laced it over the friggin' power lines, just flushed. Right, the wind picked up halfway through the ball flight and was sort of into a little bit.
Yeah, okay.
And so I still had 30 left into the green.
Yeah, so it's
right. So there's a long 3-wood. Like, it was a big hit.
Yeah.
It definitely went further than the drive in the first place. And then struggled to make up and down. I just clipped the wedge way too good. I was hoping for a bit of release and just stopped on a dime.
Oh, okay.
And then 2-putted for 5, and I was just like, that is the best 3-wood.
Yeah.
It just stayed on the bunker. I was like, hit a cut off the bunker, and it's fucking mint.
It stayed there.
As soon as I've hit it, it stayed on that line. Slightly tried to cut, and then
and like
the
relief in your mind looking at it, going, it stayed on its line. You're like, oh, thank fuck.
Yeah, correct. And as soon as I hit it and I saw it was online, I'm like, just roll. Just don't get caught up. Just roll out a little bit,
somehow.
please. And honestly, Joel, if I tell you, if it was like honestly 1.5 meters away from
getting to the front, the front,
yeah,
bit. Yeah.
If it had rolled another 1.5 meters, it's down in the gully and it's a chance to get onto the green.
Yeah.
I was very unlucky, but yeah, I thought you'd enjoy that. Just I don't take 3-wood off the deck very often, but I need to.
You know that relief feeling of seeing it flying straight. For me, it's on 12 at Rosanna.
Yeah.
Seeing it fly straight is like, oh, thank fuck.
Because
it's such a, well, it's not really like distance wise, but visually from the tee box it is in between the bunker and the hazard. Because it's such a prime landing zone. I mean, like if I miss it just slightly, it can kick into the bunker, can go in the hazard.
But then also the same issue that 12 at Rosanna has to 14 at Heidelberg is that from the fairway looking to the green, it's narrow.
It's tiny. It's such a small window to hit it.
You've got a hallway to hit it down.
Yeah, exactly.
And there is immediate trouble.
Yeah.
Left or right.
Like either side goes away from, well, it's danger either side.
It's danger.
Right's like impossible, up and down, left is gone. Left is a dead ball. But yeah, like today, for example, or even yesterday as well, I like sort of aim on the left edge of the bunker, and if it stays there, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
it's away from the hazard. And if it like comes out with a tiny draw, I'm like, oh, thank God.
Yeah.
Like I feel little butterflies genuinely going,
Absolutely.
oh, thank fuck for that. Anyway, I see it like, I'll pump one today and it was straight downwind.
Yeah.
And I see the first bounce, second bounce, third bounce gone. Like over the hill. It's like it went fucking miles. And because that fairway is so firm.
Yeah.
Like the first bounce was 15 feet in the air. Like, oh, not quite, but you know what I mean.
Felt like it.
It was fun, some of the downwind holes.
Oh, of course.
I put it to the front edge of 17.
Oh, that's big.
I had 60 into 5.
That's big too. 60 into 5 is almost more impressive than front edge of 17.
Technically, it's longer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was fortunate with some downwind holes.
Nah,
I'm trying to
good.
think if there was another one. Hit. It was
12,
40
you said was
out on
downwind.
14 with 2 iron. That was good.
Oh, there you go.
Otherwise, anyway.
We're in a weird spot with weather. I feel like
strange.
we're genuinely between seasons at the moment, between autumn and
pretty
winter.
much is, yeah.
The wind's been picking up. Like even driving home
The
Saturday,
wind can fuck off.
driving home Saturday after golf, I was just like, oh, this is like it's going to be tough for the boys in the Arvo.
The wind can fuck off.
Um,
the wind.
But yeah, no, golf's in a good spot at the moment. I'm freaking loving it.
You just need to hold on.
I cannot
Not hold on, but
I'm not even trying to hold on. It's just
It's like-
I just want to keep playing.
You're sort of riding the wave a little bit.
Yeah.
You're sort of riding the wave. You've improved a lot. The handicap that you see when you open my score on that Saturday now, or if you play more, I don't know. But
Yep.
it's a very different number. And
Of course.
It means a lot.
100% it does.
means a lot of different things, whether it's for the improvement of the bad golf, but it also means that you raise an expectation on yourself.
See, it's funny you mentioned that because I said this to Mitch on Saturday. I've been to this number before. When I had that 2 under round a few years ago, I got down to 5.5. And so when I was playing off the whites back then before the course was regraded, I was playing a 4. And the first round after shooting 2 red,
You had like
Off
25
8.
points.
right? I played off 4 and had like 27.
Yeah.
And just didn't know where I was going.
Yeah.
And I obviously spent the next 3 months of my life in that period climbing back up to 8 or whatever it was because I just couldn't play to the number. But I feel like I'm more equipped for it now.
Absolutely.
In many more ways than just being a better golfer. Like
Just understanding
technically.
what it means.
Understanding what it means and understanding that, when to take your medicine, when to attack holes, when to, exploit certain areas of the golf course. Even on Saturday, like I didn't have the greatest stretch of holes through 9, 10 and 11 and 12 even. So I'm getting to 13 tee box. I'm like, right, let's just get through this. Try and make 3 if we can. If we make 4, no dramas. But then we just go and attack 14, 15, 16. Just go and
just
attack.
know when to pull the trigger.
Know when to pull the trigger. And it works in times and others it doesn't. So you just got to understand things and how it all goes.
It's golf IQ. It doesn't
100%.
even mean you hit it better.
No.
Like that's like
No.
my last 2 rounds I've had 2 bogeys.
Yep.
In my last 2 rounds. That doesn't mean I've made more birdies or gone and shot 9 under. It's just a bogey avoidance.
Yeah.
That's all it really is.
Cancelling out,
Like
we've said it before, like golf, depending on who you talk to, and I'm a firm believer of this as well, it's a game of not necessarily how good your good is, but how good
I've
your
said
bad
it so
is.
many times. Me and Marcus say this all the time. Like I ask, I'm like, fuck, how much better do I need to get? And even Luke said it. Like there's many people that have said that to me. They go, no, your good golf's there. It's like when you're not playing well. Like if your bad is good, you're flying. That's like to make the most obvious example. That's why Scotty Scheffler is like killing everyone.
Yeah.
Is because his bad golf is still good.
He's still
good.
He's still 3 under
His
par.
bad golf is good, regardless of
Whatever it
whatever
might
he
be.
shoots. But his bad golf is good. His bad shots are in a spot where he could hold the chip shot. That's why he's so good.
Yeah.
Like, and his bad tee shots, he knows where to miss. Anyway, so it's that sort of shit. But there was one thing I was thinking about actually driving on the way here
Yep.
regarding like improvements and people dropping handicap or what it might be. And the reason why I thought of it was because yesterday I brought out a couple mates of mine that I hadn't seen in a long time, and they weren't into golf. They weren't really interested, and there was just not a passion of theirs. They didn't
Fair
really
enough.
care growing up during school. They just just weren't interested. Right? It's not that they didn't like it. It's just what the fuck. Right?
There's other stuff available.
There's other things. Anyway. And now I get texts from them occasionally going, "Hey, I'm like." One of them in particular literally plays more than I do.
Yeah, right.
No shit. He reckons he's played every day for 6 months.
Jeez.
Like he's convinced he's played every single day for 6 months.
Oh, good on him.
Right. And he said he's been playing properly probably since November, where he actually goes, okay, I'm actually going to go out to the range and play golf and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, we brought him out and mate, my ears were bleeding by the end of it with the questions, which was good.
It's good.
Which was a good thing, but I'm like kind of like, oh my God. I don't actually know, like you think I don't know everything.
No.
This is my like attempt at answering like some of them anyway. Some of these questions I'm like, oh, this is sort of what I think. Don't know, but and then the other side of it was like basic cliche questions sort of thing. So I could answer that, but it was very funny to see some of the habits and some of the things that they think might be correct or might be the way to go in the game.
So interesting to see where people are different. Or different people think.
Just the questions they had, like, how does this happen, or how do you do this? And so one of them was the guy that plays every day, he reckons. He came out and he literally hits driver 170.
Okay.
Right. And he was asking me, like, how long will it take him before I hit it as far as you? I'm like, you can now. I said, you just don't know what you're doing yet.
Yeah.
I said, there's a lot of things not wrong, but it's not right yet.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, you're a baby. You literally just started.
Absolutely.
I said, this is my job, dude.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? So, and he was asking me, well, what's it going to take to, like, not for him, but he goes, what's it take to play on tour and stuff like that? Like, what's it take to progress to the next step? How do you hit it further? How do you play these shots and stuff like that? I'm like, dude, I'll answer it for you, but it's not your expectation yet.
No.
I said, you haven't even got a handicap yet.
Yeah.
Like, and he was telling me that he would play off about low 20s, right? And I'm going to say this as respectfully as possible. He would play off 40 if he played comp rounds.
Okay.
Yeah. Just because there's little bits and pieces that still need fixing up with, maybe a mulligan here and there, which I'm all for. If you're playing socially and just play by yourself, dude, hit as many as you want within reason, of course. And if you hit one and put it in the piss and then play the hole and make par with your second ball and you put it down as a par, go for it. I don't give a shit.
But if we're playing to the playing to the letter of the law,
if you're going to play a comp round, no, you didn't shoot 92. You shot 115.
Yeah.
But for their sake, it's different. So I had to sort of, when we were sitting down having a beer, it was like tidying that up. with that mentality.
managing expectations.
Exactly. Like saying, no, you didn't shoot 20 over. You shot 40 over. But there's just little bits and pieces. Enjoy it now.
Yeah.
And then when it push comes to shove, that's when we'll tidy things up, right?
Correct.
And it was really interesting to speak to actually like see his mindset change as to how I told him I practice and the differences that he does. So he just thinks hitting as many balls as hard as you can is the way to improve, which when you're starting out, yeah, hit as many as you can if you want. Just learn how to hit it from the start for now. And then learn how to score later, and then go out on the golf course with someone maybe more experienced, or just figure it out yourself, whatever you want to do. And it actually got me thinking because he'd been playing properly for, let's say, 8 months, right? And he doesn't have a handicap. He would probably play off mid-30s straight away, high 30s maybe, and then he was slowly starting to improve. There was another guy with us, right? He really impressed me. He played off 7 for the day that's been playing for 14 months.
That's good.
Just over a year.
That's
great
good.
swing, slots it, hit like not all that long, but hits it very straight, putts it so good. Love the way he rolled it. Like little claw grip, but it was end over end. He held a lot of like those those sort of 5-6 footers and just rolled them perfectly.
Yep.
And it was like impressive. I loved it. Loved watching it, especially with the time frame he'd been playing for. And one of the guys that came out was actually sort of didn't understand how like unique that was for someone to be playing for such a short amount of time to now be off single figures, and the fact that that's not his expectation, or the fact that like everyone's different and he doesn't play near as much as the guy that's just starting out does.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So like what sort of opened my eyes a little bit was like, how can someone like is there like a science behind the way someone can practice 5 days a week and, only get down to 13 or 14, but someone plays twice a week and gets down to single figures? Like, is it, I've been thinking about this for a long time. Like there's guys that I know that
I'm so happy you've brought this up.
Even pros, even guys that I know that are pros that literally should be on the PGA Tour with their work ethic, but they can't make a cut, or they can barely get their card, or sometimes struggle to shoot under par.
Yep.
Right. But then there's guys that sort of cruise it, sort of don't put in the efforts they might be expected to, but they're flying. They're coming top 10s in a couple events, and they win one and they shoot under par all the time. Like I'm like,
yeah.
Like I've been trying to figure it out, because the guys I brought out yesterday sort of opened my eyes a little bit, going, fuck, you've been playing for 14 months, you've been playing for 9, and he's off singles, you don't have a handicap yet.
And it shows.
And it shows.
Yeah.
It shows with, I'm like, but he doesn't, the guy off singles doesn't practice near as much as the other guy does.
Yeah, okay. So
It was bizarre to me.
We'll have a crack. But to try and answer your question of is there
It's not even a question. It's like a
it's a concept. It's a trying to understand.
I'm trying to understand
is
like
this possible?
what's the science behind it? Like,
Yeah.
is it just because, or is it like, is it a brain pattern? Like,
to try and answer that question of is there a science to it? The short answer is no.
Yeah,
the short
like-
answer is no.
surely
There
though.
isn't a science to it. You can sit here for hours and debate about whether or not it's got to do with the amount that you practice. Is it too much in some circumstances? Is it not enough? Right. The simple turnaround for me would be to say, look, you've got to find a system or a method that works best for you.
yeah, of course. It's all
Everyone's
individualized.
different, right?
Of course.
And you can add extra things because there's things like, technical ability, athlete status, if you want to call it that. Have they played similar sports in the past, tennis or hockey or other things and stuff?
The guy playing off singles that
Yeah.
has only been playing for just over a year actually coaches tennis,
Right. So
which
he's got
I think that was a big factor.
huge factor.
I think it is a big factor.
So he's always his hand-eye coordination would be
there.
through the roof.
Yeah, it would be good.
because he's
Yeah, yeah.
constantly he's only hitting balls to 7-year-olds so that they can hit him back
Or whatever
But
he's
he's
doing,
still
yeah.
dropping. He's still got 7 balls in his hand. He's hit one. Good job, Carl. Hit
Yeah.
one. Good job, Amanda. Yep. Good job. All right, go pick up the balls. Right, it's better than not doing
Nothing,
anything at all.
yeah.
Right, whereas the other bloke who has been playing for 9 months and hasn't got a handicap yet may never have played a sport before in his life.
Yeah, so
he might have been riding skateboards
So
or
I
something.
actually grew up with, well, not with them, but I grew up knowing his older brother.
Yeah.
So his older brother's our age or
Yep.
my age, and he's a year and a half younger,
Mm.
sort of thing. As far as I know, he maybe might have played soccer or something.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know him that
again,
well.
There's so many questions like about, all right, how long ago? How long for? How good was he at soccer?
Yeah.
Right? Because all these things, like with golf, the most basic thing is that hand-eye coordination that we spoke about a minute ago. If you've got some sense of it, no dramas. If you've got an understanding of what your hand can do and how like you can correlate your hands to return to a position, that's all those sports are.
I think the
tennis,
biggest
golf,
word-
darts, hockey, it's all the same thing. How good are you at returning your hand to a starting position?
I think the biggest word is literally understanding.
Yeah.
It's like that. It's like there's people that can be so athletic and have like excel in a different field.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, like practice all the time,
Yeah.
but like not never improve, but it's like the work ethic doesn't match the result.
Yeah.
And it sometimes baffles me.
Yeah.
Like there's often times that I find it, like even this morning, I was running really late. Like it's a weird example, but I was running really late. I'd literally step up onto the tee, didn't have any swing, didn't hit putts, did nothing. And I'd go out and slot my first 3 or 4 shots, like perfect and flush.
And then you can pick them up from there.
It's practice, right?
Yeah.
It's all practice that I can sort of just muscle memory and do it.
Yep.
But then on the flip side, I could have showed up an hour and a bit early, gone done all my practice, and then push cut one into the shit.
Yeah.
On one. Like it sometimes just doesn't correlate.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't.
No, it's not supposed to.
It
I
doesn't.
think,
It doesn't.
I think the
make
biggest
sense
thing
for
is
me.
it's not.
It doesn't make
that's the
sense to
thing.
me.
At your level and at mine and at ours in here talking about it, it's not supposed to, right? We're not educated enough to try and understand why it happens as opposed to why it doesn't.
I don't think.
Right?
I don't think there is an answer though.
There probably isn't. That's the beauty of it
I
all.
think it's a different side of like literally understanding. So like for myself, I'm a very visual learner, and I can, like I said, it's probably the way your brain is tuned. I'm able to watch someone do something or listen to someone do something, and my brain speaks to me, and I'm able to replicate it or to my best of my ability. Whether I do it first try or not, it doesn't matter. I can eventually go, okay, I understand why that works.
Yep.
And then use your own ability to shape the ball, hit the ball, do something, whether it's juggle or something, whatever it may be.
Yep.
But yeah, and then you have other people that understand a computer differently, but I don't understand that. I don't understand how you know what you're doing. Like
It's a
just,
combination
I think it's
of-
just a brain wiring thing, and it's a weird thing that I'm trying to figure out.
It's that. And it's also, I'm glad you mentioned the visual learning thing because there's been times where you and I have gone and practiced and you've pulled off a shot and then I step up literally seconds later, having seen you do it and kind of get close to how you've done it because I'm the same. I learn best visually, but I can also retain a lot of information through audio and listening, right? Despite what my fiance thinks.
That was good by you. I like that.
So when you start looking at different people, because I've got mates as well who are probably at similar levels to your mate who's been playing for 9 months and can barely put it together. I've got mates sort of in that very beginner stage of golf, not even to the point where you call them a beginner. They're just, it's social. It's in social in the sense of like, oh, Drakes, do you want to go to the driving range? Let's go hit some balls. We'll have a beer and a pizza and call it a day, right? And I see, I've got 3 mates in mind, and one of them, right, he took the most interest in golf out of the 3. And he put a little bit of time and effort into going to the range and getting better. And when he was getting better, he was getting like okay. And he was moving into that sort of more advanced beginner. Let's just call it that, right? Starting to put things together, understanding the dynamics of a golf swing. Walk away from the game for 3 months, maybe even a year, and all of a sudden it's all going out the window.
Yeah,
and
it's
he
starting
starts from
again.
the start again.
Starting again,
right?
yeah.
But there'd be times where we'd go to the range together and I'd have to grab his arms and his club and go, right, you want to feel it here, then you want to feel it
You're
here,
way
and then
off.
you want to feel it. And then as soon as I do that, bang, he gets it, right? Whereas I've got another mate who can watch me do it and just go, how hard could it be?
Yeah, I'll just do that.
Right? And he just, am I doing it right? Yep.
then
Cool. Am I doing
replicates
this
it.
right? Yep. Bang. And
Then replicates it, yeah.
And it
I
goes.
think it's just a different aspect of learning. I think it's just the way different people are wired. And
I think it's a combination of all the factors we've just discussed. It's a combination of how you learn.
Yeah.
It's a combination of how good your hand-eye coordination is, specifically golf.
Yeah.
Right? Because you can take someone who's never played golf before, never played a sport before, and they will have a horrible time trying to learn this. They might, just because they've never had the dexterity and that feeling of using their hands to sync up with what they're seeing and return it to the position that it starts in.
Yeah.
They might have the worst time ever. But then you look at someone who, all right, played tennis for 12 years and gave up 2 years ago, and so they've still got a little bit about them. And okay,
they understand how the body moves.
this is pretty simple. I'll just stand here instead of there, and I'll just do this instead of that, and all of a sudden, bang, goes. But no, you're right. And I suppose
it's a weird one.
When you brought this topic up to me, it was more about trying to determine how some people can practice specifically, and we can advance this conversation a little bit further into actual golfers, right? Who have experience and have played the game for a while, and let's consider it more than 3 years, right? A while. Right? How some people can practice day in, day out and not really progress too far.
See, it's
but
like, what's
who
progression mean?
If you let me fucking finish what I'm saying, you can see those people who don't progress nearly as much as, say, someone who might practice once a week and go play on a weekend. And then all of a sudden the bloke who plays twice a week, one practice session and one round, drops 3 shots in a year, and the bloke who's out there every day, including 2 rounds a week, drops in by a shot or might go backwards.
Yeah.
Right? And then you start thinking about, well, what exactly are they practicing? How are they practicing? Are they practicing the right things at the right time in the right way? Or are they just going out and hitting balls for the sake of hitting balls? Because you can pick them. If you go to your local driving range now, if you, like you and I, could do it like that. We could pick the guys who are practicing, and we're practicing with intent and trying to figure out a specific area of their game and to see if there's actually going to be any progression in that area. Yeah. And we versus someone who's just going for the sake of going to hit balls.
Yeah.
You and I could pick it.
Oh yeah, we can. Yeah, based off ability and based off what they concentrate on.
But
whether
the
they
reasons,
look at something,
the reasons why people might practice 7 days a week and not go anywhere is because they can't pick it either.
No, I don't think that. I think, like I said,
that's just
like how you said it. There probably isn't a science behind it because the game's hard enough as it is.
Fucking oath.
Let alone trying to figure out whether the way someone plays the game. Like
Jack Nicklaus put it best. It's a simple game made hard by idiots.
We make the game so hard.
It's a simple
the game's
game
hard enough as it is.
It's a simple game made tough by idiots.
Like I wish, but it'd be really cool to see the difference in abilities for people that like the work ethic matches the result.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I wish that was how it, because usually you see it with most other sports. You see it generally with most other sports.
Yeah.
Like you see a basketball player that's in the gym at the court every day of the week. They're going to be 10 times better than the clown that shoots threes once a week. You know what I mean? Like it just doesn't add up.
Yeah.
It's the game that just doesn't add up, and it makes no sense to me because, like,
It doesn't add up at this level.
not even that.
It adds up more probably in the pro ranks, and you can see the guys who really figure out. I think that it comes down to basically figuring out what works best for you and what system works best for you.
The reason why I question it is because Bryson's a weird example now. I'm gonna make it to him, and I'm talking about like guys on like I'm thinking most about like guys. Not I'm saying at my level, but beyond, like the guys on the tour.
Pro
this
ranks.
is where my head is going, right?
Yep.
And Bryson was a good example of that, or is a good example of that. Maybe not now because he's top 5, top 10, top 5 player in the world, right? Well, he should be, whether it's ranked that way or not.
Multiple
because
time
of the
major champion,
or whatever it may be. I don't know.
successful.
Exactly, but he was called the mad scientist for a good reason too. He used to drop his ball in Epsom salts. He used to get down to the finest margin. He's got 3D printed golf clubs, one length, like. To the standard of golf, it's very bizarre. But when he was sort of not just getting going, but there was a period on tour where he missed like 8-9 cuts in a row. But he was out there hitting 300, 400 balls a day, doing the sciences, doing the calculations, doing probably 5 times more than a lot of the other guys were, but they were kicking his ass. Right? And then it's different now. He's producing some unreal results and he's one of the best players on the planet. But that's more or less my question, because it's like, how does he figure out so many things, and not figure out, but how does he determine so many things and literally go down into like maths? He literally used math to improve and get better, and now he does. He literally see him on the YouTube video. He understands. He goes 138 yards. Okay, it's a 10 o'clock shot with my 50 or whatever it might be.
Yeah,
and you're just like, what the fuck's that mean? I'm hitting 138 on my eye. It's like a.
But again, like it comes down to figuring out what works best for you. He had the belief in those early stages, and it is a belief that going down that path of literally making it a numbers game, which is all he's done. He's made it a numbers game based on where he takes it back, based on a clock face. Yeah. He's Epsom salts to determine this, whatever, blah, 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 air densities and this and that, whatever. He's literally turned it into a numbers game, right? And he understood and had the belief back then that was going to work because that's how his brain works.
Which
if you then compare that to someone like Brooks Koepka, I told you a couple of weeks ago about that video I saw of Brooks Koepka where he was looking ripped and he was doing an interview. He was talking about making golf a reaction sport. He tries to take all thoughts out of it. He steps up, he gets all the information from his caddy. His caddy hands him the club. He just steps up and hits a shot, and then he reacts.
That's kind of how I think. Like, for example, like Scotty Scheffler thinks. Because I saw, once again, another YouTube video where him and Grant were out on the course, and the amount of, like, there was a couple times where Scotty's literally like, where's Ted?
I need Ted.
Like, I need Ted right now.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, do you not know what to do? Or is it just you simplified it more?
It's part of his system
That's
to
what I mean.
rely on Ted, right? It's part of Brooks Koepka's system to rely and try and make it just a reaction. Get all the information you need, eliminate it immediately once he's got the club in his hand and an idea of a shot, and then just hit it and react after the ball's in the air.
Yeah.
Bryson likes to analyze
everything.
Every possible
it's a calculation.
data aspect.
It's a calculation.
It's a calculation.
Yeah.
It's a calculation for a circular movement, right? Which is how Bryson thinks about it. Tiger was regimented. He was brought up in.
He was a soldier.
He was a soldier, and
he was a warrior.
He had that mentality of I need to work harder than everybody else because in a game of life and death, I live, you die.
Yeah, you die. Yeah, exactly.
Right? That's what works best for each player, right? Some go through phases where it might not work and they look back to their systems and how it goes. Others might think that, and they might have the belief of, no, this is going to work and I just need to keep investing time into it. So no matter what you do, if you genuinely believe it's going to make an impact positively, stick at it. Keep going. I said to you before when we were talking about this off air that I feel like, especially, and I look at my personal stuff, what I'm doing at the moment just getting out that once a week during the week with SGM, having a hit just to keep the body loose, having a tune up with you every couple of weeks and playing as many rounds of golf as I possibly can over the weekends and on my RDOs and public holidays, I'm now
Is
here.
enough, yeah.
But I also know that the mental side of golf for me is a huge one. And if I'm in a good mental space off the golf course, I'm going to go in and produce better scores.
Yeah, you're already going in positive.
I'm clear of fuzz and fog in the mind to go and actually execute what I've been practicing for so long. And you might look at our practice sessions that me and SGM have on a Thursday, and it just looks like we have a bit of a chip and a putt around the putting green at Berg, play 7 holes and go home.
Sometimes it's all you need or value. Sometimes it's all that matters.
You can't account for how much information I'm drawing in whilst doing that.
Yeah, exactly.
And that system works best for me at the moment. And it might change in the next 2 years. Who knows? It might not.
Well, it's changed over the last 2 years.
It's changed over the last 5 since I joined, because I was doing that whole driving range 3 days a week. And that was when I literally had all the gear and no idea, right? Because I was grabbing my 90 balls and thinking, these will be good, and pumping them.
Yeah, with no idea.
3 sand wedges, 3 7-irons, 2 2-irons, driver.
Yeah, dog for 60 balls.
60 balls. And then wonder why my back hurts.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's about going through the grind and progressing to understand what system works best for you.
You know what I'm trying to figure out as well?
Yeah.
What mine is.
Yours, okay. So from a distance, do you mind if I have a crack at this?
Guess.
All right. I think you're so lackadaisical in the sense that you just go with it. Whatever you feel on the day, that's what you do. And whatever you feel the day before, that's what you do. Like you might go home tonight and think, I've played yesterday, I've played today, I'll probably have a day off tomorrow and I'll go out Wednesday.
Yeah.
Right?
Kinda.
Honestly, you're just winging it. I feel like you know when not enough is not enough and when too much is too much.
Yeah,
and you
I
try and
get that.
float in the middle of the two.
I kind of get that.
And whether or not, and you know what you need to practice. You know, you've said it time and time again. You can't just go to the driving range and shell balls.
Nah.
Right?
I
share
myself.
that. You and I share that trait. We can't just go and shell pills for days and
That's
days
not
and
even
days
because
on
I don't like it.
No, correct. But it's just you're going to hurt yourself.
I'm gonna hurt myself.
Both in your own golf game and your body.
Yeah.
Right? I think the way that you like to go about it is your practice is going to consist of, I might spend an hour, 2, maybe 3, either side of playing, down the back of 15, fucking around with wedges. I might spend an hour putting, and then I'll see what Marcus is doing in the shop, go, piss off Georgia in the shop, and then I'll go home, or I'll go play holes, or someone will meet me, we'll go play holes, or I'll go play a round of golf if there's a good timesheet, a good group out on the timesheet.
Yeah, that's not bad actually. That's not.
But it's literally day by day. Whereas others might go, fuck that. I need to know Monday what I'm doing, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday's my game, Sunday's my rest, and we're back at it on Monday.
Yeah.
You'd be horrible to go to the gym with. You'd be horrible. Not that I go myself, right? But you'd be horrible because your mates that go with you would be like, no, we're doing chest today. And you'd be like,
I don't feel like it.
Don't feel like it.
Nah,
Might pump arms again.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's weird. I'm not bad at following a schedule. I don't like it though, because then I start looking ahead.
You've got the most that's the thing. You've got the most unofficial schedule already up here.
Yeah, facts. When you said that I've got like day off tomorrow and maybe play Wednesday, it's like I never know. I could wait. I have no idea. I might wake up tomorrow and go, nah, I feel like putting.
Yeah.
Like,
and you'll open the curtain and go, yeah, it looks all right. Let's go.
It's so true. It's weird. It's weird.
But again, that's what works best for you. You've gotten into the position you're in doing exactly that. And yeah, there are improvements that you need to make.
For sure.
You need to get into the gym. We've been discussing that for a while, and that'll happen. Right?
Yeah.
You need to, but then also I feel like your system changes a little bit when there's events coming. So for the next 4 weeks, you've got nothing on, but then you fly out to Queensland, correct? Right? So the next 3 weeks, or maybe 2.5, even 2 at a stretch, you'll be super cruisy. You'll play a couple times a week. You'll practice a couple times a week. You'll spend a bit of time at Rosanna. It'll be all cruisy. You'll probably play heaps with your old man, which you'll love, right? And then with 2 weeks to go until you fly out, that's when you start knuckling down and Raptor starts going, what are you doing tomorrow?
Yeah.
What are you doing tomorrow?
True, yeah.
What are you doing tomorrow? What are you doing tomorrow?
Yeah.
Right? And every day he'll start going, no. You need to go do short game today. putting tomorrow, play 18 holes on Thursday, and then Friday have half a day off and then go putt in the hallway or whatever it might be. You get more structured closer to the events that you have.
Yeah.
Have I just nailed it?
Oh yeah, no. There's definitely elements that you got right for sure. There's definitely elements. I'm still trying to make a sense of it myself. Like,
you see, like, compare that to me and what I've done.
I'm just so present.
You are.
I'm so present. Like I'm now like I've actually forgotten what we're actually having for dinner. Genuine.
I'm not going to tell you.
I have no idea.
Yeah, I'm not going to.
You told me
40 minutes
51 minutes ago.
Yeah.
I have no idea, dude. It's not that I didn't listen.
And that's why
I looked you dead in the eye when you said that. I have no idea.
Yeah, and that's why I kind of say you're so lackadaisical about it. You're just so chill. You don't. And honestly, it's part chill, but it's also part I don't give a fuck. I really don't care. It doesn't affect me that much.
It doesn't matter yet.
No,
it doesn't matter now. We're in a podcast recording an episode.
Yeah,
dinner doesn't matter now.
It is.
Am I hungry? Yeah. But like it doesn't matter yet.
You take that into golf, and some people would genuinely kill to have that calm about their golf game. Like it doesn't matter. That phrase, it doesn't matter now. What matters is what you're doing between now and tomorrow, and that's not a lot.
It doesn't matter yet. Like what matters now is what's happening now.
Correct.
That it's definitely a blessing in disguise. Like has it improved my maybe lifestyle? Has it improved mentally? Yeah,
most definitely.
Does it kind of stab me in the does it kind of bite me in the ass sometimes? Absolutely. Because I get asked about things going, "Oi, what like have you figured this out?" I'm like, "What?"
Yeah, the amount of time
we spoke about it yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm right here. The amount of times I've rung you going, "What are you doing tomorrow?" Nothing. Sweet. Do you want to give Easton a call and we'll go out and play Easton? Or can you organise a round of golf?
Yeah.
Yeah, sweet. No worries. Leave it with me. I was all right. No. You know what the best one is? I'll suss. All right.
I say that. That means I ain't going to suss.
Yeah. And then I'll ring you back later that night because I would have rung you early in the morning. And I'll ring you back later. I'm like, what's the go tomorrow? And you're like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, shit.
What's the time sheet looking like a burger? I'm like, oh, fuck. All right, I'll figure something out.
I forgot.
So I've been like, it does come back to bite you in the ass. And there is going to come a time where you might have to get better at determining what is casual mode and what is tournament prep
I actually have. I know I really separate the importance of things. I used to not be worse, but I used to be really like something very important. I used to try and not stress myself because for myself, like I don't get stressed that often, but it's a terrible feeling. I hate it. It really affects me being stressed because I'm not always, you know what I mean?
I've sat in this podcast studio with you for 2 years now almost and seen you stressed about things going on.
Yeah.
It's not cool.
I don't like it. It's not a good feeling. It affects everything else.
It's not your color.
Nah, I hate it. And so I've worked on a lot separating the importance of things.
Yeah.
And then putting them in different sections of my brain.
Correct.
And when to unlock it, when to not.
The filing system is really good.
No, not yet. But it's better.
It's better.
It's better. I'm understanding where things go now and why.
It's Windows Vista, but it used to be Windows 95.
Yeah. What? Yeah, sure. Let's go with that.
You might get it. You might not.
I haven't got the software. I still need a software update, but it's better now. I don't crash or lag anymore.
Update.
I'm not on 400 ping anymore.
No.
But yeah, I need a hardware update. Yeah, true. Yeah. But
It's
that's the thing.
To revert back to what we were talking about in terms of practicing and getting better and progressing.
It's not even practice. It's not even practice. It's why like
why does it work for some and not for others? I'll sum it up with this. It's an individual sport.
Yeah.
It's an individual sport played by individuals, right? Some people are destined to get better than others. Some people aren't. It's like I sat in here last week and said that I was more than comfortable 6 weeks ago not getting lower than 6. And in 6 weeks, I've dropped 2 shots. It just happens. Sometimes it just happens. Sometimes it just you put in a bit of extra work or you find something that works and it goes. Sometimes you don't. Sometimes you get stuck in a rut. It's literally day by day. And that's what people fail to see at times, is that it is day by day and anything can change anything for good or for bad. But to try and answer that question that you had before is there is no science to it. It's just how things go. And if there is a science to it and someone can figure it out, come and join us.
Yeah, sit down next to me.
Explain it.
I got some questions like, what's for dinner?
Yeah, exactly. Jolie, let's get into questions from the second cut. You're hungry.
Yeah. I'm actually like
He's fucked.
The cogs are the cogs are actually no with the topic that I've brought up, the cogs are actually turning. I want to know, like I want to not know, but I just want to understand it more.
I do. You want to know now. The moment you drive away after we finish recording, you're going to go, what are we talking about? I got no idea.
I do so. I do forget what episode we're up to every week.
That's true. 4,289.
Yeah, squared.
Yeah.
But
spell it.
You know, I spelled 12. Yeah, but I'm curious.
It's an interesting topic you have brought up.
I want to know. I just want to know how people's brains work. For people that don't practice, literally don't practice. As in, when I mean don't practice, you practice.
Yeah.
The amount you do, relative to a week, isn't much.
No, it's the bare minimum.
It's enough to maintain some form and maintain what you're playing off. Great, but
and make some gradual improvements.
And improve here and there when you find it, when your brain actually understands and then puts the two together. That's all well and good. But
what you want to know is, how do people literally not swing a golf club Monday to Friday but show up on a Saturday and shoot 2 under?
No, because that's not possible unless you cheat. But not cheat, but you know what I mean.
Gets close.
But that's not possible. You're not playing plus figures playing on a Saturday.
No,
but
it can happen.
It can, absolutely. I'm not doubting that, but it's not a consistent thing. You're not going to consistently do that.
No.
But then there's other things. It's like, yeah, I see it a lot, especially with some of my mates, that they practice more than me and are nowhere near it. Or not nowhere near it, but aren't.
It's probably because for how they need to progress, what they're doing now is wrong. Maybe they need a system reboot.
Yeah.
Because if that's the case, it's just literally pointing to process versus result. The process is this and the result is poor. Change the process.
Yeah, if the working out is If the working out is correct but the answer's wrong.
If you're practicing 7 days a week but your handicap's going the opposite direction and you're getting worse, maybe you need to change it. Maybe you need to have a bit of time off. Right? But if you're practicing twice a week and you're coming down at a rate of knots, or
but the thing is,
you're consistently shooting good scores, keep it.
It's like a weird fluctuation thing.
Find a good habit and stick to it.
Like, I don't want to name drop too much, but SGM, for example, he went from playing off 12, or what was it?
14.
13, 14. Like, I'm not saying at best. He had his good days, but then dropped to single figures, let's say pretty quickly, in the span of, 12 months?
Yeah.
Let's go 12 months. And then gets down to 8.5?
Yeah, 8.5.
8.5. So he's playing off single figures and then floats out like a shot and a half to as a leveler. And then drops a bit, then floats out, and drops a bit and floats out. Like
form.
Yeah, I reckon that's what it comes down to.
Form.
It's so situational.
I'm content with the understanding that I've been in a good run of form the last month and a half.
Yeah, and
I've been playing some good golf.
Not to shoot you out of the sky, but there's more. You're more likely to go out. Maybe let's say only a shot. More likely than you are to play off 2.5 by November.
Of course,
you know what I mean.
And that's okay. That's part of the journey.
And I've
done that at every milestone that I've achieved.
That's kind of the way it sort of goes.
It's a seesaw. It's a teetering effect of just two steps forward, one step back.
You know, another person that was awesome to see was actually Remy that we had on the other week. He was amazing. He went from playing off 10?
Yeah, 10, 11.
10-ish, and then drops down. All of a sudden, he's off 6. And then floats out to the 8, and then floats down back to the 7. Now he's hovering around that 6.5 mark.
But he's one of those that practices every day.
Not quite, but
he near enough too. He's practicing at least 5 days a week.
Mate, his work ethic is incredible.
Putting in reps in a freaking moon boot, for God's sake.
Yeah,
after surgery.
But that's the drive.
But that's his obsession with the game, right?
That's the drive, though. I wish Remy, seriously, if when you listen to this, I wish I had his work ethic, man.
So do I.
I seriously idolize him as with The drive.
He's going to have such a big head after hearing that.
No, he's not. No, but it's true though. It's the drive. I want
It's
that
infatuating.
drive.
It's infatuating.
It's impressive.
100% it is.
But
I
his
know
work ethic, he should have a tour card, man. I wish that's why my question, I don't understand it.
work ethic is only one half of it, though.
But he puts
The
in
other
the reps.
half of it is execution.
Yeah, but
Being able, because you can practice and put in the reps all you fucking like, Monday to Friday, Monday to Sunday, in the sim, on the range, on the golf course, as much as you fucking like. But when push comes to shove, and you've got a friggin' 70-meter pitch shot on 17, and you have to get up and down for birdie to stay in the hunt in a club champs, and you blade one through the green, and all of a sudden you're staring at a double, that's when it comes to shove. It's one thing to practice your ass off and hope to get better. It's another thing to figure out what works best for you and fucking execute it properly.
Yeah, it's situational, but
It's situational, and that's exactly what it's an individual sport. What's good for the goose isn't always good for the gander.
I'm going to speak to Remy about this because he's good with this sort of stuff.
He's 100%.
I want to know the mentality behind it.
100% he is.
Because he's sent me this like this link thing to like a book or audio book or something like that to read, and it's like it was about that fearless golf actually, and it's like the change in mentality, and I just want to understand it better. Yeah, because I feel like that will change the way I perceive things as well.
Yeah, it's going to. It's going to. But I think that, again, it comes down to the fact that, yes, it's an individual sport. We're all on our own path. And what's good for the goose isn't always good for the gander. What's good for me ain't going to be good for you. Yeah, and true. I know, and what's good for Remy ain't going to be good for me either, because I know that if I practiced and I put in as much work as he did into this sport, I'd grow to hate it so quickly. I'm in a very happy medium with the amount of golf that I play and the amount that I practice to, number one, get better, and number two, continue to love it. Yeah. It's just far away enough for me to just go, I want it. Give it to me.
Yeah, it's right
Give
there.
it to me.
Yeah.
Whereas if I was here and I could grab it, all of a sudden I'm just like, oh, well, why? What's the point?
Yeah.
If it was that easy, and if I was putting in the reps to make it that easy and it wasn't happening, then I'd grow to hate it. Because heaps of practice doesn't always generate better results.
Well, it should though.
Versa.
That's why I'm confused. It should.
It should, but it doesn't, because people who you don't know what the situation's like with these blokes on tour, they might be getting coached far more than what you are.
Oh, guys on tour, it's every day though.
Exactly.
But that's what I mean. Like how does it?
Because they're just riding the wave for longer and they're doing it better than anybody else.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
That's all. That's might be all it comes down to. Like you talk about riding that wave of good golf and good form. Ultimately that's what they need to do. Tiger doesn't go on a 12-year stretch just because he just rode the wave. Like it happened for him early and he just figured out how it worked and he stuck to it. And he'd done years and years of prep to get to that position in the first place. Fair enough. But it's about riding that wave as long as you possibly can. There are so many factors.
Yeah, which is annoying.
It's so annoying. It's
got to be simpler. It's got to be.
The thesis that covers this topic is not 15 pages long. It's hundreds of thousands of pages long.
Yeah. Put it in a little PDF and send it to me.
So what? You could read the title.
1,000 words. That's all I want.
1,000
The
words.
answer to golf, 1,000 words. No more.
I can give it to you in 3.
You don't have the answer.
Hit it less.
Oh, fuck off. Yeah, okay, this dickhead. You're a knob. You're a fucking idiot.
Questions from the second cut, Jolly. Let's get into it.
Oh, I don't want any more.
Cool. How hard can it be to break a bad habit in golf?
Oh, it's sometimes you never do.
Yeah.
How hard?
Have you ever been in a position where you've broken a bad habit?
Yeah. So I don't know if I've mentioned it before, but I had the driver yips one time at Huntingdale.
Okay.
Like when I say driver yips is like genuinely couldn't hit the planet. Like I couldn't do it. I couldn't hit the ball. It was bizarre. Everything else was awesome. Everything else was fine. I'd grab 3-wood and slot it.
Yeah, right.
It was driver. It was bizarre. I reckon I've mentioned it on one of the eps before. But breaking a habit, and it was almost the same thing. The more tee ball tee shots I hit on the range, the worse it got.
Just compounding the
Drove
errors.
me nuts. Right. And then there was like not like a grand awakening. There was one morning. It was a Saturday morning. We teed off before the field, and I wasn't really in my head, but I knew pulling driver out on I could hit this on the other side of 9. I could also hit this onto Metro.
Yeah, cool.
Like I didn't know, and I just hit it and I slotted it, and I'm like, oh my God, I haven't seen that in 3 weeks. Like it wasn't long time, like long being 3 months.
No.
It was only a few weeks where I couldn't hit the planet.
Yeah.
And I was really, really struggling, like because everything else was all right. And then I slotted one up one. I'm like, oh my God. And I even looked at, I think it was Ben that I played with that day, and he's like, oh, you actually hit it straight. And I'm like, oh no. And like I'm like not known for it. I'm not going to say that. But my strength is like hitting it pretty straight, sort of thing. So it was really out of the ordinary for me to hit it so sideways. And then paid one up on 2, slotted it. Paid one up on 4, slotted it. Like down
Just
6
had a
and
day.
7. Not even had a day, but it was back.
Yeah.
But this is what drives me crazy. Was the habit was now broken, where it was broken because I started hitting it straight again.
Did you just stick to a feeling?
I have no idea. That's the thing. That's why this question I just brought up earlier. That's weird that it relates to this, but that's why the question I brought up earlier it doesn't like I don't know how it happened. Like it felt like I was doing the same thing,
Yeah.
and of course it wasn't because so much went wrong when I was hitting it poorly. But what was your question again?
How to break a bad habit.
How
hard can it be to break a bad habit?
How hard? Do you know what the hardest part is? You don't know when it's going to stop.
Yeah.
Like not to bring up like battle scars or anything like that, but for yourself and hitting the old Rosal Hockett,
Yeah.
right? You didn't know when it was going to end.
No.
That's the worst part.
And genuinely there were times, and I'm glad you mentioned it.
That's
there were
the
times where I
worst part.
genuinely thought it was going to be forever.
Well, that's the worst part is you have no idea what's the end date.
It was legitimate misery.
That's the end date.
But again, breaking a bad habit can be as simple as slotting one and going, "Oh, do that again."
But I didn't know what I was doing. That's the thing.
Fair
That's
enough.
why it's so hard.
Do
I look like an idiot with this shit?
A little bit, yeah.
Hang on.
But yeah, like it could have been anything.
But that's what I mean. It didn't for me. Yeah, I was a lot younger and
A bit more
didn't,
naive.
I had no idea of golf IQ or anything like that. I had no idea. I just sort of hit it. I just stepped up and I knew sort of how to hit it straight. So I did.
Of
right?
course.
So that's why it felt so bad.
Yeah.
And I reckon that's why like some people that do struggle with one aspect, not even one, but like at a particular aspect of the game, don't know how to break a habit. And a lot of it I see with short game. Short game is probably the biggest one that stands out to anyone really, is like how do you break, knifing it or fatting it or missing it or whatever, or hitting slices. Like is you don't know when it's going to end.
Yeah. That's the worst.
I think that's the
fucking
worst
hate it.
part. I think that is the worst part because another tiny example is I don't get the yips, but sometimes I go through rounds where I can't hole a fucking putt. No matter how much practice I'll do before, during, yesterday, the day after, for a couple rounds in a row, just nothing goes in. And then
I had one of those on Saturday.
I'm just like, I'm done. I'm gonna blow out to 15. I have no idea. Like nothing goes in. Like 3 footers are jittery.
Yeah.
And then you come days where you box a lot, pretty much everything you look at, and you're just like, oh, why didn't I just do that every time? Like,
And then in hindsight, you look back at it and go, well, it's a game of inches. It's a game of millimeters.
even.
And you go, you don't have the wherewithal on the golf course when you miss a 3-footer because it lipped out. It doesn't even touch a hole because it just snaps off its head and you never saw the break.
I don't even know.
And then all of a sudden you go, well, it's a game of millimeters. It's a game of inches. I misread it. Or, next time it drops, you never know what happens.
But it's the repetition of it. It's the fact that it goes in streaks. Like it's not, you don't have days where you miss 4 3-footers but can 4 30-footers.
Yeah.
I find that doesn't happen.
No.
I find it's like if you're catching the lip on the first couple holes, you catch the lip all day.
How many times have you walked off a golf course and gone, everything was good today except for X?
Yeah, true. Yeah, true.
Irons, driver, wedges, good, putting.
Yeah. or something.
Or, and then the next round you go, fuck, I putted unreal, but I couldn't hit driving for shit.
I couldn't hit the planet. Yeah,
You know what I mean?
That's like in terms of how hard is it to break a habit. The hardest part about breaking the habit is you don't know when it's going to end.
Correct.
You don't know.
You don't know when it's going to be broken.
You don't know how long. You don't know if something is going to be broken next week. You don't know it yet. I reckon that's the hardest part about a bad habit. That's
There you go.
It's the fucking worst.
Have you got a question for me?
Nah,
Actually,
I'm rattled, eh?
I feel like you've drilled yourself into a hole this week, and I think this could be at least a few more hours of what? Why?
Because it's like
How?
I was thinking about it in the car because I was like,
That's
just sort of quickly going through. I'm like, oh, okay, the next 4 weeks are pretty cruisy. Great, I got some time to practice.
Yeah.
Right, and then I'm thinking, do I do it every day? Do I do it like twice a week? Do I set up a schedule? Like, this is the hardest I've thought in years, and my head hurts. Like, I swear, I'm about to blow a gasket or something.
If you want, after we finish recording, we can sit down and try and nut out some ideas if you really want to.
I'm sort of speaking out of my ass a little bit, but I'm both serious but not.
Yeah, I know.
What I mean? Like,
I know.
Like, I know what the next 4 weeks looks like.
Of course.
But I'm like, because of the events and the significance of my last 6 months of this year and what it can mean, is like, shit, which one do I do?
Yeah. How do you attack it?
Do I go in cruisy, or do I'm like, is this the time to knuckle down and then?
And I suppose a piece of advice I could try and offer you, having never been in this position before, considering it's also the first time really you're attacking a Oz Tour season, expecting to play multiple events, you might be best just to do things the way you've been doing it that you feel works for you, and see how that holds up this year. You don't have a card.
Yeah.
You don't have a card
true,
yet, right? So whatever events you get into, just attack it how you feel is the best way for you to attack it. Go off your instinct. Go with your gut.
Yeah.
And if it works, great. If it doesn't, okay. But then next time when Q School comes around, you can attack it either the same way because you thought it worked, or differently because it didn't. And just, it's trial and error. It's process of elimination. And people like Luke and Marcus are going to be awesome.
I kind of got a second cut question now, but yeah, continue.
Okay. People like Luke and Marcus are going to be best to fall back onto for that. And blokes that you're playing against, ask them questions. Yeah, they're going to be your opponents in a few weeks or a few months, whatever. Who cares? You've got the contacts there. Hit them up. What works best for you? Who knows?
Maybe I'm hungry.
Do you have a question for me or not?
Now I've forgotten it.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for tuning into this.
Oh, I got it.
Oh, God. I'm hungry too.
I don't care. What do you think is more important? Trusting a gut instinct or trusting a previous experience?
Trusting a gut instinct, I think.
You reckon?
A previous experience can deter you down a pretty dark path.
Positively.
Yeah, hang on.
You went straight to classic old drags.
Yeah, exactly.
The negative side. No,
yeah,
positively.
Exactly. But,
positively.
Okay, so positively.
Not like this is going to fall off a cliff. No. It's like it could be a good thing.
Yeah.
Like, is it because they both override each other?
Yeah.
Previously, this didn't work, but I feel like this will now.
Yeah.
That's my point.
I
Like,
reckon I'm more inclined to go with that.
Gut instinct.
Let's put it in golf perspective.
The gut instinct.
Yeah, the gut instinct. If I'm faced with a shot that I haven't previously pulled off in the past, but I like 3-wood on 14, right, on Saturday, I don't normally pull 3-wood from there. And I'm the first thought I had was this is going to end up in the piss on the right hand side, right? But I'm like, fuck it. The time calls for it. You need to try and execute. Go with the gut. The gut says 3-wood. The brain says bunt it down there with 2-iron and be safe. The gut goes, nah, have a crack. And then, you kind of neglect the past experiences with the gut instinct. And in that instance, the gut instinct spoke louder and won. But in other times, the past experiences, like the Rosals, can scream. Can scream. And you can go, oh, I don't know what to do. So maybe I'll just putt it from off the green instead of chipping it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, because I feel like I base it off a previous experience, but because of practice sessions and what that previous experience means, my gut instinct
and
then,
your character.
Yeah,
My
my gut instinct is reactive. Like I react with the situation that happens now.
Yep.
But then a lot relates though.
Yep.
Like if something doesn't work previously, I could then go and I think it relates. I think that's like kind of works.
And let's make it perfectly clear. I don't sit. I don't walk up to golf balls, and think to myself, well, the gut says I should hit this shot, but I don't like hitting that shot every time. It doesn't happen every time. It might happen once a round. My gut instinct generally wins 99.9% of the time.
Well, it's almost like we're getting up on the green and your first initial read, because that's what you think at the time, and then you stand over it going, it's not right. So you adjust it a tiny bit and then you miss it high.
Yeah.
And you're like, fuck.
Should have stuck with my line.
Should have stuck with that first instinct.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I reckon that's my point. Is like, does the first, like, trust your first thought.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There are times, again, it's a balancing act. Like what speaks louder at the time. Because I've been in that situation too, where you line up a putt, and then all of a sudden you go, well, I've overread every single putt today. And it's like recent. It's not like last week or the week
and
before.
That's the past experience side of it.
And it's the past experience. It's like I've overread every single putt. So you adjust it and you go less break, and then all of a sudden it dives 3 feet lower the hole.
Yeah, you're like,
fuck.
Yeah. That's the thing.
I wish I'd have trusted. I wish I'd have trusted my gut.
My first instinct. Yeah.
Right. Whereas there are other times where you go, I need to hit 3-wood in this scenario. Don't hit this shot. Hit this shot instead. And you go, yeah, but last time you snap hook one into the trees and you'd made double. Don't worry about that. That's gone. Trust your gut.
I had a weird one today. Actually, it was on 12. Hit a great tee ball, and I had 151 or something like that, and it was wind howling off my back. And I didn't really have a club in mind immediately. It was sort of just like, okay, pins at the back. Okay, it's firm. It's straight downwind. Long's dead. Right. So I'm like, in my head, I'm like, do you reckon you can get wedge there? And I'm like, well, I can carry wedge if I hit it flat out 125. And then downwind, firm, I don't want to be past the hole. Let's play to a 145 number. I'm like, yeah, I can hit this 135 and like 130, and downwind, it's going to carry that extra 5, 6, maybe 30 feet sort of thing, and then firm bounce and blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, yeah, I can hit this. I can hit this 145, 140, 145 if I get into it. Then I'm like, nah, I want to get it to the hole. Right, so I'm like, no, I got to hit 9 iron, but I'll sort of smooth it, and I'm trying to hit a 140, and then it gets there, and it bounces pin high and rolls over the back. So I'm like, fuck.
Wish I'd have trusted my gut.
Like the first instinct thing. Would
have worked.
But then I second guessed it, and I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah. It's a weird thing. Like we said earlier, it's a simple sport made difficult by idiots.
I've got questions, and anyway.
And you need answers.
Not a need answers. It's one of my curiosities, actually.
I feel like you've put yourself in a bit of a wormhole as
No,
well.
not even that. It's genuinely a curiosity. It's not going to affect the way I think.
No, God, no. I'm not saying that at all, but I just think for your brain in the next sort of 24 hours, you're just going to be like, why can't I figure this out?
I've got a phone call to make.
That's it. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for tuning into this week's episode of the Gold Jacket, Green Jacket podcast. We hope you've thoroughly enjoyed. Please hit the subscribe button if you're watching on YouTube. Head down into the description, press the like button, leave us a comment as well. Let Joel know just how wacky his head is. If you're listening on Spotify, we love you very much. Spotify's been killing it over there. Thank you very much for all your support. Be sure to leave us a 5-star review and follow us over there as well. Instagram, TikTok, all the jargon over there as well. And we hope you have a great week. Hit the ball very, very well.
Guess what's for dinner?
You're an idiot. Hit them well. We'll see you next week. Cheers.